With the new year coming in, that means it's time to create a plan for 2025 on how I'm going to navigate the credit card space, especially with so many new rumors about refreshes and new credit cards coming out. So today's video will be more of a conversation compared to my other videos. With all this recent news, I'm not sure what direction or ecosystem I want to pursue, and let me explain why. I'm at a crossroads as I am early in my credit card journey. I currently have the Amex Gold card and the Discover It card, so I'm not really committed to any one setup or system at the moment. So I think it's important to start off with what exactly I want in my setup and what my goals are. First off, between Team Cashback and Team Travel, I want a travel setup. I'm not doing a lot of traveling at the moment, but I can see it being a possibility in the future, so I want to start stockpiling points right now. And I would just also like to do some sort of traveling while I am not really tied down by a lot of responsibilities at the moment, like having a family or anything like that. Number two for me is simplicity. I want simplicity in my setup. The Amex Gold has taught me that I hate thinking about using my credits every month. I don't want to have a setup where I'm constantly having to enroll in or think about a credit every month to get my money's worth. So if I am going to acquire any card that has an annual fee on it, the benefit needs to be easily applicable. Lastly, I don't want to go high on the annual fees. Like I just said, I don't want to track credits, and I don't want to get a bunch of credits that don't make sense for me. Now, with all that being said, initially I thought I would go for the Chase trifecta because of the 524 rule. Maybe I should just get those out of the way. But two competitors have recently emerged in my eyes, and they kind of align with what I want my goals to be, and that is Citi and Wells Fargo. Starting with Citi, there has been a lot of speculation around a premium travel credit card that they may be releasing this year, which we will touch on later. But first, I briefly want to go over their quadfecta that I'm considering, if you will. So let's take a brief overview of them. We'll start off with the Citi quadfecta, and this is just going to be a brief overview and not really an in-depth analysis, but starting with the Citi Strata Premier with the sign-up bonus of 75,000 points, which equals $750, breaking down some of the categories and earn rates. 10x on the travel portal, 3x at restaurants, 3x at gas stations, 3x at supermarkets, and 3x at air travel, and 1x on all other purchases. So that covers a lot of your categories, or at least some of your main spend categories like restaurants, gas stations, supermarkets, and 3x is a pretty good rate. However, the thing that troubles me with this card is that $95 annual fee. The benefit, or the way that you offset it, is $100 off a single hotel stay of $500 or more when booked through citytravel.com. Now, I have seen where Citi Travel has, kind of some elevated offers compared to if you were to just book directly. But I think where I'm at this moment in my life, $500 on a single hotel stay doesn't really happen for me. I don't know if that'll happen in a year. So that is the one thing that I'm struggling with this setup, with the Citi setup. But you do get 75,000 bonus points on the welcome offer, and that can offset your annual fee for a little while. But I would prefer that benefit to actually be something that I know I'm going to use, and I don't kind of have to go out of my way to figure out how to fulfill it. Moving on to the Citi Custom Cash, I think everyone loves this card. I just put spending categories that are applicable to me here, which is gas stations and grocery stores. I would likely use this at grocery stores. You get 5% cash back on your first $500, and I spend just about $500 a month on groceries. It's a little under that, but the sign-up bonus is $200, or would be 20,000 Citi thank you points. And I think a saving grace, at least at this moment with the way their cards are set up, if I didn't like the Strata Premier, then I could just product change to a custom cash and, get that 5% on those gas stations. For our third card, the Citi Double Cash, which also has a sign-up bonus of $200 or 20,000 points, you get 2% back on everything. We are all aware of this card. Great card would be my catch-all card to support this system. Now, the last card is a very interesting card, and that's the Citi Rewards Plus card. And I'm not going to go through the earning categories because that isn't as important to me about this card. You do also get a 20,000 bonus point offer. But the interesting part about the Rewards Plus card is the 10% points back from redemptions. When you redeem your thank you points, you'll receive 10% points back on the first 100,000 points you redeem in a calendar year. So if you redeem 10,000 points, you'll receive 1,000 points from the 10% points back feature. So let's say you earn 100,000 thank you points in a year, and you redeem all of those, you're going to get 10,000 thank you points back, which is $100. And if you were to make this setup your core setup, and you could deal with that annual fee every year, this would give you an extra $100 redemption on top of all the redemptions that you're already making, which I think is super interesting and not talked about a lot. Here is a general mock-up of how I would use this setup and what categories it covers for me personally. Now, travel, I'm not really going to use it at the moment, although I will have the 3x multiplier. Restaurants, I'll get 3x, gas, 3x, groceries, 5x, and all of the purchases 2x due to the double cash. Now, the couple things that are not covered for me within this setup are rent and utilities. I'm not stressing about utilities being covered up, but rent, I am planning on getting the Bilt Mastercard. That is going to be the next card that I attempt to get. Hopefully I can get that, especially with the recent news about getting points back on your mortgage. Who knows what is going to be tacked onto that, what kind of requirement will be needed of that. But as it stands, getting points back on your rent, I feel like for me at the moment is a no-brainer. And overall, with all the welcome offers combined across these 4 cards, it'll total out to 135,000 bonus points. And I really like this whole setup and covers the categories that I want it to. It's just that $100 off a $500 stay booked through City Travel that I really struggle with, and is what is keeping me from committing to this setup. Now, some potential news I want to note here that I learned about from some other YouTubers, starting off with Calby talking to an insider, revealing a little bit about City's credit card roadmap and the City Strata Elite, which with that being likely a premium travel credit card, I kind of want to sit on either venturing out and getting the whole City setup and just see what that Elite card is going to look like maybe. And then here in a little bit, we're going to be talking about the Wells Fargo setup that I'm considering. And Joe Barreto did a video talking about some Wells Fargo insider information as well. And they actually just hired Ed Olibe as head of cards and merchant services. And I believe he was the president of branded cards at JP Morgan Chase. So I'm super curious to see if Wells Fargo is going to be adding any transfer partners. They are rumored also to be coming out with a big card. So Wells Fargo and Citi they're on the verge of releasing 2 big cards or maybe adding 2 big transfer partners. So I really am at this moment kind of sitting on committing to one of these either way. I'm just kind of pondering which one maybe I would go. With the Wells Fargo setup, starting off with the autograph, you get a 20,000 bonus point offer. It gets 3x on restaurants, 3x on travel, 3x on gas stations, and 3x on transit and streaming services, and 1x on all other purchases. And one thing I want to mention about the autograph is that it does get 3x back on phone plans. Now, some really good earning categories here, and it has a $0 annual fee. Obviously, with a $0 annual fee, the sign-up bonus is not going to be just overly impressive, but this is the one thing that I like about this is that it is a travel setup that does not have an annual fee. I don't have to worry about any credits, and the autograph has some good earning categories. Backing that up with the active cash, your sign-up bonus of $200 and is your 2% catch-all card. Lastly, the Attune, which I've covered a little bit, it gets 4% back on self-care, select sports, recreation, entertainment, and impactful purchases, and 1x on all of the purchases. Also, a $0 annual fee, has a sign-up bonus of $100. The sign-up bonus isn't as strong with this setup, although, like I said, no annual fee. The categories on the Attune are kind of niche, and I've covered that in a previous video. You really have to delve in deep to see what exactly you can earn back on, and you'll actually be surprised of what categories you're hitting within those. Moving on to the mock-up of it, I'd get 3x on travel, 3x on restaurants, 3x on gas, 2x on groceries covered by the active cash. Obviously, that's not that 5% that the custom cash offers. It's obviously not ideal. All of the purchases, 2x as well. Rent, we talked about the Bilt card, and utilities are not really covered. They'll be hit by the active cash as well. So welcome offer total would be 50,000 bonus points. The one upside of this is not having to deal with annual fees like I've been raving about, or credits. However, not having a dedicated grocery category when there are so many cards out there that get 5x back or 3x back is kind of tough to swallow. But it's one of the reasons why I want to wait on them potentially dropping a new card, because who knows, maybe it'll work great for me. I will leave a link to these guys' videos in the description. Go check them out. It has some interesting info. And tell me what you guys think about these new cards that are coming out, or what you think about my potential setup in general. I'm open to suggestions, and obviously I'm kind of thinking about what I should do and which direction I should go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you like this style of content. Please like and subscribe if you did enjoy it, and I hope to provide more value to you in the future.